Hello everyone, my name is Partho Das, Assistant Professor, Department of Electrical Engineering, JS College of Engineering, West Bengal, India. So first of all, welcome to my class. So as you can see, the topic for today is the parallel operation of an alternator connected to an infinite bus. So already in the previous classes we have seen that what is the concept of parallel operation and what are the conditions of parallel operation. So there an importance of parallel operation. So now the today's after doing that here a point appears that when this alternators, the parallel alternators all are connected to infinite bus, then what is happening? What is the voltage condition? What is the frequency condition? So if there is any change, so that thing we are going to discuss right now. Okay, so those things we are going to discuss right now. So now the first thing we have to right now, that is what do you mean by the infinite bus? Infinite bus means, so we can think of like that way that when um, say there are two alternators connected to some bus bars, and the distance between that alternator to the bus bar may be 1000 kilometer, 2000 kilometer. So if it may happens, so we can think of they are very far away from that alternators, and in that case we can think of that those are the distance between that is the in the huge. So in that case we can think of that system is a that bus bar is at infinite bus. Now when we are thinking like that way, that means between alternator and between the bus bar, if there is a huge distance, and due to that what are the changes occurs, and what are the property changes are occurring in the alternator, that is the point of attraction for today's presentation. So let us first check what is the definition is given over here. Then we will go for the what is happening when parallel operation of an alternator is done, that is connected to an infinite bus. Okay, so let us check the what is the definition. So as per definition, it is told that the bus whose voltage and frequency remains constant even after the variation in the load is known as the infinite bus. The alternators operating in parallel in a power system is the example of the infinite bus. The on and off of any of the alternator will not affect the working of the power system. Very interesting thing you can you are now able to understand, that is, say we know that say first thing that there is a single alternator and there is a single load, and if we think of a system like this, so that means if we change any kind of thing, that is if we change the excitation of the alternator, then what will happen? So if we change the alternate excitation, then the EMF generation will be changed, and then the terminal voltage will definitely change. And if we change any kind of load pattern, then the power factor of the system can be changed. Now when we are thinking of a different alternators, one alternator is here in the, say in West Bengal, and second alternator is, say we are thinking at Tamil Nadu or Karnataka. So what is going to happen? So distance between these two is very high. So if is there any change in this alternator present in the West Bengal, so there will be no change, there will be no effect in the second alternator which is placed at Tamil Nadu or Karnataka. Why? Because as the distance between them is very high, so the switching on or off or anything fault is occurring in the system, or whatever is the change is there in the system, that will not affect that alternator. Okay, so that is a very important thing. That means when we are thinking of a single alternator connected to some load, so that time any change any will affect the system in the current, in the voltage, in the load section, power factor, so everything may change. But when we are thinking of a infinite bus, that means a huge long transmission lines are there where different alternators are connected, maybe two alternators distance is 2000, 3000, 4000 kilometers. So in that case what is happening, that in that huge power system, um, the one change, anything change in one alternator is not affecting the other one. So that is very important point. So now the capacity of a parallel operating system is enormous. The voltage and frequency remain constant even after the disturbance on the load. The connection of disconnection of any of the machine will not affect the magnitude and phase of the voltage and frequency of the infinite bus. That means, say there is a in bus bar, and that bus, with that bus bar, n numbers of alternators are connected like this way. So if there is any change in one alternator, so it is not affecting the other alternators, and as they are not affecting the other alternators, the bus bar characteristics, bus bar voltage, bus bar frequency, bus bar phase sequence, everything will remain same. Okay, so that is the parallel operation of an alternator connected to an infinite bus. So the main thing, as we can say over here, that any change in the this power system on this grid system, so it will not affect the two things. As we can see in the presentation, the voltage and frequency always remain constant. That is the point number one. So very important point, voltage and frequency will remain constant. Voltage and frequency will remain constant. Okay, number two, the synchronous impedance of the bus is very low because of parallel operation of the machine. That is also very important. That is a synchronous impedance. When we know that when two or three alternators are connected parallel together, so we know that the impedance is going to be decreased as though those are connected in parallel. So we can say that when you are considering parallel operation of the alternator, so the synchronous impedance to the bus is very low. Okay, so let us check whatever we are now we are in this particular presentation, we are saying that voltage and frequency will remain always constant. Okay, so we, in this particular presentation, we are going to see, we are going to find out whether whatever we are discussing, is this correct or wrong. So mathematically we are going to prove that one. So is it possible or not. So when we are discussing about the parallel operation, so before deriving those equations, so we have to think of some thing. What are the things, that those things are that what are the conditions, for the parallel operation. So we know that when some loads when some alternators are connected to some load, and if the load is more than the whatever energy is generated at that time, only the second alternator or in numbers of alternators should be connected with that existing system, so that we can match the load demand. Right, now the point is, when a new alternator is should be connected to the running system, so some points we have to take into the consideration. In the previous presentation I have already told you those things, so just for the remembering purpose, so that we can very easily understand the things that are remaining in this particular presentation. So that's why I am just discussing with you those points. So first point is the voltage level we have to check. That means whatever is the voltage level of the bus bar, that will be that should be taken into consideration. So that should be matched. So whatever alternator we have to connect to the existing system, that at that time we have to check with the voltage sequence. The next, the frequency, it is a very important term. Without change, if the two frequencies of two if the frequencies between the bus bar and alternator, if those are different from each other, then what will happen, they will not synchronize. Okay, if it is not synchronized, then the parallel operation is not done over there. So for the parallel operation of alternators, so to meet the load demand, we have to check whether all the alternators have the same frequency. If they have all same frequency, then only we can synchronize all the alternators together to meet the load demand. Okay, then the these are the things. So let us say what is there. Okay, yes, synchronous machine on infinite bus. The performance of synchronous machine varies on the infinite bus. How it is varying? Let us see. When the synchronous machine operates independently, variation in their excitation causes the change in their terminal voltage. Obviously, if we change the variation, if the field current is changing, then definitely the field flux will change. If the field flux is changing, the flux cutting will be changing the armature winding, and if this is changing, the EMF generation inside that it is changing, and if it is changing, then the terminal voltage is definitely changing. Okay, and the power factor of the synchronous machine depends only on their load. So when I already I have discussed with you, that is when an alternator is connected to a load, a single alternator is connected to load, at that time the power factor of the system depends upon the nature of the load. But when we are discussing about the infinite bus, so synchronous, when the, and that means infinite bus means when the alternators or synchronous generators are connected in parallel. Okay, so the change in their excitation change the power factor of the load. When a single alternator is considered, at that time the load is change in the load may vary the power factor. Here in the change in the excitation may vary the power factor. This is the change we have to remember when it is alternator is acting alone, and an alternator is acting together parallelly with some other alternators. Okay, so for a pictorial representation, I have placed here the bus bar. So follow my pointer. So this is the infinite bus, and with that infinite bus, G1, G2, G3, so n numbers of alternators are connected. So this is how the system looks like. If we think, if we summarize those things, so now let us find out the voltage remaining constant. It is very important point. So we will check that whether the voltage is all remaining constant. So for that case, we are considering those points. So what we are considering, that let V be the terminal voltage of the bus. Yes, that means whatever bus we are using, that has some voltage, that is V. E is induced EMF in each generator. That is, whatever alternators we have to connect to the bus bar, that has some EMF value that we are considering over E. ZS is the synchronous impedance of each generator. So ZS is the impedance of that. So impedance includes the reactance, at the same time it includes the resistance also. But in the previous presentation we have seen that the synchronous reactance is very larger than the resistance of an alternator. So that's why sometimes in general case we actually neglect the alternator resistance. So now we can say that, when, so coming to the previous diagram, say here this G1 generator, follow my pointer, when this G1 generator is generating E amount of EMF, and this is the bus bar, here the voltage is V. Okay, and this generator has the impedance of ZS. Okay, so can we think of like that way, that due to the present of this impedance, synchronous impedance, so there will be some drop when it is connected to the bus bar. So when current is flowing to the system, so due to this I1 current, here the I1 current is flowing, so when this I1 current is flowing, so to the alternator, so there will be some drop. Now after that drop, after cancellation of that drop, whatever the rest amount of voltage is there, that will reach to the bus bar, correct? So that thing, so here is a E, there is a V, so there is a difference between this E and V. So where the difference is going, that difference is the drop of the system. Okay, so that thing is there. So this is that V is equal to E minus IZ SEQ, the synchronous equivalent. So now if we think of that, just consider very interestingly, if we consider Z, that's Z SEQ, okay, is equal to, is, we know that that is ZS by N, where N is the number of generators in parallel. Now if we think that N numbers of alternators are connected parallelly, so that means if the this n numbers is very high, so if this number is very high, so this, follow my pointer, if this is very high, this n is very high, then what we can say, this result is going to be very zero, near to zero, or for simplicity we are considering that is 0. So see, it is written over here, when this n is very large, so at that time z seq is equal to 0. And if this z seq, z, follow my pointer, if this z seq is 0, then we can, what we can say, this I z seq is term is 0. So what we can say, this v is equal to e, that means it is remaining constant. So that means at that time the synchronous impedance can be neglected, as there or n numbers of alternators are connected together. So what is the conclusion? If the n numbers of alternators operating in parallel, okay, is definitely in infinite only, if n numbers of alternators are connected together, then the synchronous impedance value will be very low, such that it can be neglected. And if it is neglected, then so the drop inside that is neglected, and if it is neglected, that we can say that whatever is emf is induced in the alternator, that is reaching to the bus bar. Now we have to think that if whatever is the EMF is generated inside the alternator, that is only reaching to the bus bar, that means we have to set the alternator voltage such a way so that it can match with the bus bar voltage, because in between that there is no loss, okay, no drop. Okay, so we can say that yes, the voltage is remaining fixed. So the next consideration that we have make conclusion, that is the frequency will remain constant. So that we now we will going to find out how we can say that. Yes, proof of frequency remaining constant. So let J be the moment of inertia of each alternator. Okay, so J is the moment of inertia of all the alternators, each alternator. So total moment of inertia of n numbers of alternators, if we think of, then that is each has a moment of inertia of J. So like this way, n numbers if we add, so that will be n into J, correct? So now the acceleration of the alternator. What is the formula for acceleration of the alternator? That is given by accelerating torque by moment of inertia. Okay, so accelerating torque is given by the TA or tau A by the moment of inertia. What is the moment of inertia? For each alternator, the moment of inertia is J. So if we are considering in numbers of alternators, then the moment of inertia is nj. Okay, so follow my pointer, this is the expression tau a by nj. now now if we think of again, as we have think of in the previous case, if we think of this n numbers of alternators are connecting together, that means when n numbers of alternators are connecting together, so at that time this n value is very high. If we are considering this n value is very high, so acceleration of the alternator can be considered is very low, or we can consider this value is near to 0. So we can say that the speed is constant. That means that the acceleration of the due to the there is, that means I am going to tell you that there are one alternator, so say second, third, like this way in numbers of alternators are there, so each has some moment of inertia. Okay, so the if we want to accelerate, so acceleration we have to make of the alternators. So what we will do, accelerating torque by the moment of inertia. So total accelerating torque is given by tau a by total moment of inertia is how much, nj. So if the n value is very high, then we can say that the acceleration of the alternator is going to be 0. So if it is going to be 0, then means there will be no acceleration in the system. So whatever is the speed of the alternators are, they will remain constant. If they remain constant, so therefore we can say that, see this one, the above equation shows that the convenient constant voltage and frequency. So the speed, if the speed is constant, that means it is again we can think of that frequency formula. What is the frequency formula? F is equal to 1 n is equal to 120 f by p. Okay. So from there we can find out the n. So from there now 120 f by p. So what is f is equal to n into p by 120. So for a particular machine, p is always fixed, 120 is a constant term. So if we think of that n is a constant term, then we can say that the frequency will remain constant as the speed is remaining constant. Okay, so from that point we can say that the frequency will also be constant over there. So like this we can say that when an alternator is connected to infinite bus bar, so at that time the voltage and frequency is remaining constant. So this is all about I have to say about this particular topic. So okay, thank you.